Good evening, good evening, good evening. Where are my sisters at? Hey, where are my sisters at? Good evening, good evening. It is our Monday night conversation, and where are my sisters at? I see you, Tracy. Hey, Tracy. Good evening, good evening. I am Lisa D. Adams, your Seesaw and Maven, and it is time for our Monday night sister conversation, and we have a guest here. So every other night, hey Tanya, every other Monday we have a guest. So we are excited to have Mrs. She was Miss when we first made this arrangement, but now we have Mrs. Dominique Dewar with us. Say hi to her, give her greetings, show her much love, give her some hearts, and she's going to talk to us about her new book, which is coming out. Her book is Present Your Body, a girl talk.
Yeah, uncensored girl talk about sex and celibacy.
So again, when we first made this arrangement, she was still engaged, but since then, she has now became a married woman. So we're looking forward to hearing from us. So welcome, Dominique, and thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you for coming out. This is Holding the Hand of a Sister, a group that we're focused on education, motivation, and empowerment, and we're just loving on each other. That's pretty much what it is. We're loving on each other. We're lifting up one another, and because we're still in February, I thought your book would be so befitting. We had Miss Tanya Williams was our guest a couple of weeks ago, her and Tracy McFadden, and we talked about a happy marriage. So phenomenal conversation. And so I said, let's end the month with your book. So let's go right on in. What made you write it? So let's start off. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yes. So I am Dominique Dewar. I'm 27 years old. And I am currently a clinical therapist for a foster care agency called ChildServe. I work with homeless young adults. So I'm the therapist for that particular program. And I want to say maybe about like the last semester of college, God revealed to me that he wanted me to be encouraging people and being in that particular field. So I did end up going into counseling. But as far as the purpose of this book or the background of why I created this book, this was something that God totally gave me. I have been dealing a lot with issues regarding celibacy and things of that nature. And once I had came to the decision that I was going to surrender my body to God, it was a huge transition. For my life, because like I said, I was all in my flesh before I finally decided to give up. Before I finally decided to surrender everything to God. Like I realized that I'm like, look, what I'm doing now is not getting me anywhere. I feel empty. I feel lost. I just don't even know what to do. And I'm like, Lord, I don't want to feel like this. And I said, I want to make a true commitment to you. So what was that? A couple years ago. Yes. So in 2017, that's when I finally had made a decision to go ahead and surrender my life to God. And about maybe a couple of months later is when I met my fiance. So God worked really quick.
I'm still waiting on God. I'm still waiting.
Yes, he worked really quick. And so my celibacy journey was done alongside my fiance. And the basis of this book was for a lot of young women. I know that God has called me to minister to young women, to work with young women. That's been on my heart ever since I was in high school. So I knew that was an area that I knew that the Lord was really working in me to be a part of. So when it came to this book, he really started giving me words about what happens to us when we give ourselves away physically to people that are not created to be our spouses. And there are a lot of different celibacy books out here, but I think the way that I break down this book, the way that the Lord gave it to me, is very unscripted, very unfiltered. Most churches probably would not talk to women about it in this way. And everything that happened to me, or everything that I talk about in the book, is different things that has happened to me, the different spiritual just changes that I had to go through, negative and positive. So I break down every single thing that could possibly happen. I talk about soul ties. I talk about being unequally yoked. And I have like a whole chapter about identity, because without, you know, the whole basis of why those other things happen is a lack of identity. So the Lord really just broke this down to me. And it was really amazing seeing how it all came to be. And I'm just like, wow, like, Lord, this is crazy, you know, because once you write stuff out, it's like, yeah, stuff is in your head, but once you write it out and you see it, and it's like, wow, like, really, Lord, is this really the way it is? And it was. Everything that I wrote about was stuff that I experienced. And the Lord is like, I need you to share this with other women, because they don't know that this is what they're exposed to. You know, when they join with men outside of marriage, you know. So I that was one of the main reasons. Well, that was the biggest reason why, you know, the Lord gave me the vision to be able to write this book and the way I wrote it.
How did you feel about the journey God had put you on? Was you like, okay, God, or was you like, for real, God, are you tripping? I mean, because these are conversations I have. I'm like, oh God, really? Come on now.
I mean, I always, well, I don't know. I mean, as far as working with women and being in ministry, I think a lot of it, I think I was in denial for the longest amount of time, because I'm just like, okay, Lord, are you really calling me to do this? Like, why me? You know how you get in that whole spiel of, Lord, I'm nothing. I have made so many mistakes, and I have, like, and I'm very open about the mistakes that I made and all of my shortcomings in life. And I'm just like, Lord, you really want to use me in this way? Like, you could have picked anybody else who probably had less mistakes. But what I'm coming to realize is that the Lord uses a lot of people who, I mean, if you think about the different stories in the Bible, every person that God used was a mess.
And I think that's part of it. He wants us to know that it's in our madness that he can refresh us and refurbish us so that we can bless others. First of all, in 1,000 years, you could not have made me believe that I'd be here doing this. Okay. So this is one. You wouldn't have never made me believe that I would settle down on my partying, because I enjoy doing it. You know, I enjoy doing it, but it's not that interesting to me anymore. You know, it's like some things just have to change. But with you being 27, in your age bracket, celibacy is not so popular.
It's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some, and like I said, I go to an amazing church. I go to All Nations Worship Assembly, Chicago campus, and we full of millennials there who love God, who are trying to pursue that particular lifestyle. But even though that church is very huge, we're still a small number of people in our age group that are actually doing this, that are actually surrendering their bodies to God and doing it at a young age. And I thank God, because I wasn't, like, from the time I lost my virginity when I was 17. And I talk about that in the book. Like, I'm completely transparent in this book. Like, I tell about my whole experience, because the Lord is like, you need to be transparent. You can't sugarcoat or water down your experiences, because the moment that you do that, somebody else may miss what it is that they need. So it was very important for me to be totally honest and what I experienced and what I went through. So y'all know, look, this book, everything is out. Okay, everything is out, and I lay it on the table, and that was a little bit difficult for me, even though I am a very open person, very outgoing. But even still, you get to that point where you're like, Lord, I don't want nobody to know all of this about me. Like, why do I have to share all of this? And he's like, I need you to share this, Right. And I'm just like, Lord, give me the strength. This is some deep. And I mean, I talk about stuff that I have not even told most people who are close to me. Mm-hmm. And I was able to put that in this book. And the Lord said, he told me what to put in this book. He said, I want you to talk about this. I was like, wait. You want me to talk about that? No.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a stretch. It was a serious, like, spiritual stretch for me. So yeah, I mean, honestly, there isn't a lot of young people out here who really understand the magnitude of what, giving your body away to just whoever. Like, that's such a big deal, and if we don't, look at our bodies as pure, if we don't go to God and ask him, Lord, show me who I am so that I don't get to this place where I need to just give myself away to just any and everybody.
Right.
Because it's a lot of issues that's underneath that. So it's not just about the sex, but it's what's underneath. What is making me want to pour myself out or give myself away to all of these people in these different ways? So I talk about it all because it's important. And the Lord's like, I need people to know, like, it ain't just this. These are all of the spiritual things that can happen to you when you don't wait. So,
right. Yeah. But you know what? And it's not only the young people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, definitely not.
It's older people that have the same issue. Now, I hear people say, if God wouldn't have gave it to me, whatever. It's all type of things. Now, I don't judge them. Mm-hmm. Hey, that's your walk. Do you, whatever makes you comfortable. But it concerns me. And I often wonder, especially when I hear people say, we just gonna do this right here and be done with it. But then you done did it with this one.
Yeah.
Then you got this one. And it's what are you really searching for?
Right. Exactly.
Are you searching for something? Are you trying to hide something? Are you trying to get validation? Yeah. Is this needed because you're feeling less than? Because you really don't understand your worth?
Yeah. I mean, I promise it's all of those things. And I touch on all of that because we as women, we're emotional beings. That's just what we are. So when it comes to meeting somebody that we think that we, I'm meeting this man and he seems nice and he seems like, what I want. And then, he talking to me a certain way, or he might touch my arm or touch my hand or, do something to make me feel like, okay, it's okay. And then you look up and you done move to that next step. Y'all kissing or you making out or you doing something else. And then that leads to something else and that leads to something else.
Not to mention the music that you
listen music too. Yes, definitely. The music.
Not to mention the music, because that'll take too. I see you over there.
It does. I mean, anything that you open yourself up to,
right,
can influence.
And you like what you like.
Yeah.
You like what you like.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just it. You like what you like. And so, but I hear a lot of, and you know what? Not only women, but men too.
Yeah, men too, definitely.
Men too. It's another author. I can't think of his name right now, but I remember a discussion we had. It wasn't at his book signing, but it was at a book signing. But he was on a panel, and he said he was sleeping with women after women after women. And he said, boasting to his friends and stuff. Wow. He was, just boasting. He said, but on the inside, he said he was devastated.
Yeah.
He said, that's not what I really wanted. But he said, that's what I thought was expected of me. He said, first of all, no one taught me how to be a man and how to carry myself. I was never confronted on that. When I start to change my ways, then I start getting looked at funny.
Right. Yeah.
But as long as I was out there doing any and everything, they want to high five, they want to bump fists. Yeah, dog, let's do this, let's do that. But when he decided to change his ways, and his exact words, what registered most to me. He said, no one ever asked me, was I okay?
Wow. Yeah.
He said, they just looked at the outer layer. They knew what I was doing, the manipulation and everything, but no one asked me, was I okay? No one asked about the hurt that I was feeling. He had been molested. He said, but no one asked him about it.
Yeah.
And so he was just out there. He was not only being reckless to himself, but he was being reckless to others.
Yeah.
You know, and so then it comes up with the emotional standpoint of it. You know, you can say that it means nothing. But the reality is you're going to think about something.
Yeah.
You're going to reminisce, you know, something is going to, a flashback, good or bad.
Yes.
It happens. So you don't necessarily disconnect after the act. No. Sometimes it takes healing. Yeah. It takes healing of the heart, because you all said that it was nothing, but now somebody has feelings, and the other one done went off and married so-and-so, and now they dating somebody else. And you was excluded because you was just that booed up thing.
Yep.
You sold yourself short.
Yep. And that happened to me, and I talk about that in the book.
Girl, me too.
I promise I had that same kind of similar experience when I was dating a guy, and he, you know, we had met online. A couple people I met online, and I'm just like, Lord, okay. But even I met my husband online. So it's not like online is bad, but it's just, it depends on the time, and it depends on just a lot of different factors and the people. So online dating is not bad, but it's just depending on the people who you're talking to and what's the purpose of you talking to that person. But with him, it was just like everything was perfect. We connected, and then, you know, I ended up having sex with him, and I started developing these feelings, and I thought he had those same feelings, but then it turned out he was dating somebody else that he told me was his best friend. So, and I was sitting here like, okay. I was crushed. I was devastated, because it's like he was, you know, and I was at college, so he was back. He was living in Chicago at the time. So he's back here doing whatever with her. And I'm at school like, yeah, that's my boo. I'm not going to be with anybody else. That's it, you know. And I developed a deep soul tie to him. Yeah. A deep one. And I didn't realize how deep it was. But it was like seriously deep. And and if I hadn't let him go, I believe that I wouldn't have met my husband. I know that.
But, you know, sometimes we have to sacrifice. We have to be willing to give up what we thought was good for us. Yes, absolutely. It's not necessarily good for us, but what we thought was good for us, we have to be willing to give it up so that we can receive what God has for us. Absolutely. God has so much greater for us, even though it seems like God procrastinates. But in his procrastination, he's really getting us prepared. Yeah. And he got to heal us. He got to get us ready. What do we have to offer?
And keeping us hidden. Yeah. He has to do that. We have to have that time of being hidden so he can begin to cleanse us and strip us from all of that hurt and pain. And he said, you need to fill that back up with me first before I try to send a man to you for you to be able to truly glorify me with that relationship. So, I mean, that has to happen before you can move forward and meet your husband and, you know, do all of that.
I saw a post today, and it says something, I'm paraphrasing, it says, don't make the next person suffer for the cut of someone else. Yeah. And it said something else like, don't wipe the blood from that relationship onto, you know, I'm like, wow, that was deep. And so that means that we have to heal. We have to be able and willing. We have to be willing to, you know, analyze ourselves. Yes, yes. Analyze ourselves. We have to be willing to allow ourselves to go without so we could get better. Yes, yes. And know, just like a parent, everything that the child asks for, we do not get. We do not give, you know. And at some point in time, we have to realize everything that we're asking for, even though it's God's desire to give us the desires of our heart, if it's in his will, We have to be careful what we're asking for.
You do.
We have to be careful because God will give us something. You say you wanted a husband. That's all you said. You wanted a husband. Now you got this knucklehead who don't work. He got 86 baby mamas. He's abusive physically, mentally, sexually, emotionally, financially.
Yes.
Just a slum. But how about taking a moment, first of all, getting to know ourselves.
Getting to know you, yes.
What do you like? What do you like? Not what you do because someone else does it. What do you like?
Yes.
What things do I like? What is my tipping point? What is it that's going to knock me off my rockets if you do this thing? And you only going to have this one time to do it.
Yep.
Just this one time. What's my tipping point? You know, we have to get to know ourselves. And we can't be so quick to just be willing to accept any and everything.
Right.
Because let me say this. Whatever we accept will be.
Yeah.
It's just that. It's just like that. Whatever we accept, it would be. If it's disrespect, if we allow it, it's going to continue.
Yes.
If we don't stop it, and that could be disrespect on ourselves. We teach people how to treat us.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
How we love on ourselves. What we say about ourselves. You know, we just say, it's okay to say, I need a healthier lifestyle of eating or whatever. But instead of going around my big fat, you know what I'm saying? It's stop putting these labels on us. We have to know how to love ourselves so others can know how to love us.
Yes, absolutely.
And not be so quick to just grab any apple that fall off the tree.
Yeah. I mean, and even with that, like, that's important because if you know who you are, you know what's for you. And then even sometimes, for the most part, you know what's for you, but it's also because you know yourself, you're like, okay, Lord, send me what's best for me.
Yeah.
Because then you don't want to get into the point where you have this whole list of what type of man that you want. Now you can be like, okay, Lord, you know, make sure he's successful or this, but you talking about he got to be 6 feet tall, he got to make $50 billion a year, he got to drive this type of car, he got to have this type of house. I mean, you may get all of that and then realize, okay, this is not what I asked for, Lord. Okay, well, yeah, it is. You did ask me for that, but you didn't know that this type of man came with all of this extra stuff. So it's like being really, just really careful what we're asking God for. And that comes with knowing who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, then you'll just accept anything.
Right.
So you have to get to that place where you know who you are. You know who God calls you to be. And I talk about that too. Like the first step in us knowing who we are is knowing what God says about us and who he says we are. And there are so many scriptures that talk about who God called us to be and why he created us and, you know, all of that. So it's like really meditating. Okay, wow, Lord, you chose me. Like, I'm not here by accident. I have a specific purpose. I'm beautifully and wonderfully made. Like, all of these different things, all of these qualities that God says about us. And we really meditate on that, meditate on the love of God and the love that he gives us. And once you be able to understand the way God sees you, I promise he'll begin to transform your mind. And it's like, wow, now I know who I am. I know that I'm God's child, first of all. He created me. I'm his. And I know that I'm not going to stand for certain things because, Lord, you created me for something greater, which means whoever I marry, he got to be great too. We both got to be great. And great doesn't mean perfect, but it just means we both have the same goal. You're like-minded. Yes. You know, you literally are like-minded. And I talk about being unequally yoked, being with somebody you're not supposed to be with. Light and darkness cannot share together. You know, the word talks about all of that. And it's important, you know, but the thing is when we open ourselves up, you know, physically to people, then that's how we get into those unhealthy relationships. And sometimes getting into an unhealthy relationship can lead to a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's like, it can happen either way. It's a dangerous path.
It's dangerous. I know we was talking about the physical. One of the things I am going to ask God, for God, I like to wear my heels. Please let somebody be at least tall enough so I can wear my heels. God, please don't let them walk next to me and look like one of my sons. Okay?
Now,
please.
yes. Now, look, I'm a tall woman, okay? I'm tall. And my husband is actually shorter than me. Like by like 2 inches.
Okay, 2 inches is
and you know what? But I remember telling, when I was younger, I'm like, yeah, Lord, I want a tall man because I'm tall. I want to be able to, like you said, I want to be able to wear my heels, and he's still taller than me. But the Lord, like, you don't know what I got for you, and now that I got him, I'm like, I don't even care that he's short and I'm taller than him. Like, it doesn't even bother me because I know that this is a man that God has ordained to be in my life, to lead my household, to lead us, period. And he has done that. So it's like, it's regardless, but you'll find that out. Once you really get in tune with God and what he wants for you, that whole little list you got, you probably won't even care about it no more. Some of the stuff. Now, some stuff is non-negotiable.
Right. Yeah. Some stuff
non-negotiable.
We got to have some of this stuff. You got to have common good sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Head on straight.
Yeah, something. But yeah, so I mean, what can we say? Ladies, our bodies are temples.
Yes.
What we allow in a temple, what you allow in your house. That's how you look at it.
It's your house. I forgot that in the front.
It's your
house. I
give
that same analogy. I said our bodies are our house.
Right. And we don't let
we can't let everybody in our house because you don't just let strangers into your house.
Right. Then even if they come over, they don't get to rule your house.
No.
They don't get to rule your house. So it's my house. And I'm going to treasure my house. I made that decision. I'm just tired. I got tired. That's of the emotional roller coaster. And it was more so of me doing things my way. And so I was like, okay. Yeah. I'm waiting. Okay, God, you do know that I'm 52, don't you? I'm like, God, come. I know. I remember the scripture that you say, you'll give us more time, but you do know that I'm 52. Yes. Don't you, God? You remember that. But no, in all seriousness, we just have to treasure what we have, who we are. And no means no.
Nope.
If this is not for me, I'm not going to be talked into it.
Right.
And you know what? And it surprised some people when you even tell them.
It does. They be like, "What? You said no to me?" Yeah, I did.
Right. But then you have some that will respect you. I've had some days we've had a blast. You know you ain't coming to my house. Why would you even think you could come over? Absolutely not. And then I've had some that was just really crazy. So I did some of this online dating. This one guy I met on Tinder, y'all. When I say a Tinder fool, a bona fide Tinder fool. He was. And I mean, in everything he said. Now, we used to have good conversation. So he asked me something first that just really tripped me out. He says to me, now he found out I was in church and stuff. Now he was excited. Now I'm business on, I'm booked. I said, my girl gonna be there. First of all, he said I was your girl. We're still talking on the phone. So then he says, when I told him about church and all this stuff. So, how do you feel, or how would you react if I said, babe, don't go to church today. Stay at home with me. I said, hold on. Where are we staying at? I said, because I already told you I got a daughter. You can't come to my house. I've already told you that. I ain't going to your house. So where are we staying? He was like, no, just think about it. What are we thinking about? Yeah. Then we got to talking about houses. I said, my house belongs to my kids. I don't know what you want. I'm like, So he got really, really mad at me. He was mad because he said I would put church before him. I was like, dude, first and foremost, you on the phone. I hadn't even met this fool yet. I hadn't even met him in person. Then when I finally did meet him in person, you talking about hilarious? Really hilarious. Because I found out, this sounds like a soap opera, but I found out he was dating one of my cousin's friends.
Wow.
Wow. It was hilarious.
Small world.
It was hilarious. Yeah, but what gave him away, his name was an awkward name. So it wasn't too many people with that name. Yeah. It was hilarious, though. It was real funny. We laughed about it. Wow. But what I'm saying is you just have to stand up for yourself.
You do.
I don't care what they say, what they do. Know your worth, know your value, know that God has a plan for you, know that God has someone out there for you. And then if he does not, it's okay. You're still whole.
Yes.
You're still whole. You do not have to have someone else to complete you. Yes, God made you completed.
Exactly.
You are
completed.
Yeah. In him, you are completed. Yeah. So it's not necessary now to just go out and hang out with. I do it all the time and have a blast.
Yeah.
I talk crazy. I'll do that. I talk crazy and I have a blast. No string attached. You do what you do. I do what I do. You know?
That's fine. You know.
And it's all good. So Dominique, tell them where can they find out? Give them the title of your book again.
Yes.
And tell us where we can find the book. Where your link, because it hasn't came out yet.
It hasn't came out yet. No.
Okay.
We're in the ending stages of publishing, but so it should be pretty soon. So the name of the book is Present Your Body, an uncensored girl talk about sex and celibacy by Dominique Dewar. I've been taking pre-orders, so I've had a few come in, but I'm still taking pre-orders since we're wrapping up the process of the publishing. You can pay and pre-order through multiple different avenues. And Miss Lisa, you can probably type it in for them so they'll know.
We'll type it in and we'll put all that after this is over.
Yes, that way you all have all of the information. But you can pay me through PayPal. I have a PayPal link, Cash App. What else? I also have Quick Pay as well. Yes.
Where can they find you?
So you can find me. I have a business Facebook and Instagram is under Edgy Godly Girl. So that's my brand name. And I started that brand to encourage women of God to be bold in their pursuit, because growing up, I had a lot of issues with being myself and being unique, and not being limited to just being one type of woman that loves the Lord, like that wears skirts. Like I have my nose pierced. I like wearing leggings and lace and stuff. And just because you like to express yourself or you have personality and uniqueness doesn't make you any less holy. Like holiness doesn't have a certain look. So I'm trying to help break the stigma of what holiness looks like and trying to inspire more women to build that up within themselves. And that comes from just the character of your heart is where holiness truly lies, not in what you wear, even though, you shouldn't be wearing, shouldn't wear nothing too revealing, but you should still be able to express yourself in a unique way and still be able to serve God and worship God, be filled with the Holy Spirit, all of that. And that's what I want to encourage women to do. So under Edgy Godly Girl. So I'm on Facebook and I'm also on Instagram at the same name at Edgy Godly Girl.
I'm gonna make sure I put all of that in there. It's something about typing while I'm looking at y'all that don't work too well. So I will make sure that you all have her information. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your wedding, on your new marriage. So I appreciate you from hanging out with us. Big thumbs up, you all.
Thank you.
Would you all please give Miss Dewar a big shout out on her her wedding. Tell her congratulations. When did you get married?
February 16th.
She got married February the 16th. So exciting for your prayer. Many blessings upon your marriage. Is some on here who have been married. Tanya has been married almost 30 years. Jim, she's been married numerous years too. So you have some people. Tanisha's on here. She's married. These are the ones that I know of that are married. Just wishing you all God's blessings upon you and your new husband. And the best for your book. I'll let y'all know when the book signing is. I do plan to attend. I've already pre-ordered my book. Tanya says she owes you a pre-order and whatnot. So looking forward to much success. I appreciate you guys so much for sharing your evening, your Monday evening with us. You all don't know how much it means to me to have you all to chime in each Monday night. And I'm glad God put this on my heart. And what I wanted to do most importantly was just to get to know you better, because we had so many people in the group, but I didn't know who was there. And I want to get to know who was there. So if you want to come and hang out with me, just inbox me. Call me up, do something. Just come and hang out, and we could have a good time. God bless you all. Let me see if I have any announcements. Oh, well, you know what? I don't have any upcoming announcements, but I will say I had a blast this weekend. Y'all did the authors read. I did what else did I do? I did the virtual speaker for the Black CEO, and then I was a speaker for National Hookup Black Women for self-esteem. God is good, and I'm just saying it. I'm testifying more so than bragging. What I want you all to know, whatever it is that you want, God is able. Yes. He's able and he's willing to do exceedingly and abundantly above what you ask or think. That means there is so much beyond what you can even believe, what you can even think about that he wants for you. Yes. Okay, so lots of love. I'll talk to you all soon. I'm going to post this, share this, and I'm going to share her information on you. Love you all. I will see you all next Monday. See you later.